Okay, so we are going to demonstrate how to get some data from Yahoo Finance and how we're going to transform the data in Excel. So first that we'll get into the finance.yahoo.com and pick up stock that you want. Okay, so I'm going to do the NVIDIA. Okay, so click into it. Then in the screen that we're going to click on historical data. And I'm interested in only monthly data, so I'm going to change this frequency into monthly. And make sure that you hit the apply button down here. Now instead of download, I'm going to right click on this download link. I'm going to copy the link. Now I'm going to go back to Excel. Okay, so I open up Excel. And I'm going to create a new workbook. Now I'm going to get into my favorite menu bar here, the data. Okay, so I'm going to click on the data. I'm going to click on from web. Okay. This is going to be a Windows version of Excel. If you have Mac, you gotta do some research that I still cannot really figure out that how Mac will do exactly the same steps. Okay, so here that I'm going to just paste the URL that I just copied. If you take a look at this URL, and you see that the taker of NVIDIA actually shows up like NVDA here. Okay, so what I will do is that I'm going to break down this URL to 3 parts, and I'm going to keep the taker in the middle, and I'm going to add another part for the rest. Okay, so I'm going to cut the URL starting from the taker, and I'm going to paste on the second text box here again. You see that on the first text box that I have a much shorter part of the URL, and for the second that I have a much longer one, but I'm going to add another part here. I'm going to get rid of, I shouldn't say get rid of, I'm going to cut the URL part after the taker again, and now I'm going to paste what I cut it to the very last text box here. Okay, so to summarize, okay, I split the URL to 3 parts. First part is just the headers, second part is the taker, and the third part is just the rest of the URL. Okay, and now I'm going to say okay. Okay, so now this is going to be my data loaded here. Okay, and I'm not going to load the data yet because I need to do some transformation on this data. Therefore, I'm going to transform the data. So after I click the transform the data, the first thing that I do is I'm going to change the name of this data query. Okay, so the whole thing is so-called data query, and this is actually is part of Microsoft Power Query. Okay, so I'm going to call it NVIDIA stock price from Yahoo Finance. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so the columns actually that we are interested in are dates, closing price, and adjusted closing price. Those three: dates, closing price, and adjusted close price. The other columns, they can't have many. Those we don't really want to keep, so we're going to remove the rest. So here we're going to click on this drop down button down here, remove columns here. Okay, remove columns. Okay, click on drop down. So we're going to pick out the second option here, remove other columns. Okay, now we have 3 columns left. Okay, this is going to be exactly that what I wanted. So now I'm going to save and close. Now I have all my 3 columns. Okay. Another thing that I want to do here, I'm trying to answer a question here to say, well, if I invested some money, right, in NVIDIA back to September 2022, how much do I have in the account now? Okay, so this is going to be the question that I'm trying to answer. So let me enlarge that so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's assume that my initial investment is let's say $10,000. Okay, so that's the initial investment. For us to find out that how much we're going to have if we invest this $10,000 in there, the first thing we got to do is that we need to find out the return for the stock. So this is going to be the return for the stock. Remember, this is going to be month by month, so this is going to be so-called monthly return. Okay. There's no way we can find out the September return because we don't really know how much the stock was on October. Besides that, I just started to invest in September. It doesn't really make sense that I do too much on September. But now on the October, the return for the stock is, okay, so let me just do it quickly here. Okay, is the price of the stock in October minus the price of the stock in September, which is the price that I bought the stock for, right? And I put those into parentheses, and this part actually, okay, this part in parentheses is the dollar amount that NVIDIA stock price appreciated or depreciated during the month, right? So the returns that we most express this in percentage or decimals. So the dollar amount gain or loss divided by the beginning period of price, that's going to be the return for the stock for the given month, right? So that's going to be that. And you also notice that after we hit enter, all those cells are automatically filled up. Sometimes that this behavior will help us, but in particular this time it may not. But you also notice there is a small flash popped out here. If you move your cursor over the small flash down here, there is a drop down button down here. If you click it on this, okay, you can do undo calculated column. Now that only one cell and one formula stay. Okay. Now I can do our old trick. I just drag it down to the end. So this is going to be actually what I really wanted. Okay. Now, well, after I have the return, I can figure out the money part. So this is going to be the money part. that shows that how much money that I have in the account in terms of NVIDIA stock price. I can see that we started with this initial investment, $10,000 here, and I hit enter here. Then the next month, okay, so this $10,000 will grow 11.22%, okay, so that the next month we have the amount that we had in September times 1 plus the return of this given month, okay, so it's October, and this is going to be how much that we will have, we would have in October. But you also see the similar thing here, so we can do exactly the same thing, okay, get into this small flash, click on undo. Now I can drag down starting from line 3 or the row 3, the E3 down here. I'm going to drag down starting from E3 all the way down. Okay. So this amount 38,614 is going to be the amount that I have in the NVIDIA stock, given that I invested $10,000 in last year September, or 2022 September. Okay, so that will be it for this video. And once again, if you have Mac, then you may want to find a Windows PC so that you can perform this on your own. If you find out that how Mac would do exactly the same thing, then keep me posted as well. So I, once again, don't really have exactly the same solution for Mac yet. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Okay, and I'll see you next time.